going on, everybody? It's your buddy, it's your pal Spaz Phoenix, the YWC Reality Check. This is your NXT Revenge preview. That's Jake fucking DeMarco. But before we get on to the preview, buddy, we got to talk about the news today. And yes, I'm making a break right here because this will be a clip at some point.
Wow.
I love reading the news sometimes.
Wow. A lot of people very
A lot of people very upset, and a lot of
upset
people
and
saying some
butthurt
things.
today.
A lot of people looking at something that happens all the time and acting like they've never seen it before is my take.
They're shocked and appalled, and how dare they ism is everywhere. That's what I like calling it. The how dare they ism, because it's fine all the times they've had this happen, but now because they're doing it, how dare they isms come forward, and they come out aplenty.
And this is the thing I'll say right off the top, just to give everybody the warning that's listening to us right now. I would love to dig into this, and I would like to say that on its surface, what we're talking about is kind of unfortunate. You know, there's matches that have been canceled, there's things that have been rearranged, there's moves that have been made, and on a surface level, as somebody that was going to one of these particular shows we're going to talk about, would I be bummed that I'm no longer getting this match? Yes. Is there a logical, hey, it's their company, it's their prerogative, let's have a good adult functional discussion about this? Of course. Would I like to have that discussion? Yes. But Jake, do you
You
know
could
what
go ahead and have a kid, be told, "Oh, sorry, Santa's sleigh broke down." It doesn't make the not getting a present sting any less. No matter the context and the reason, the fans are still losing out, and that's the unfortunate reality, and the
That's the unfortunate
unfortunality of
reality,
it all.
and I would I would love to focus on the unfortunate reality, but
But we're
because
not
of the
allowed to.
no, but here's the thing, because of the personalities involved and the elements involved and the companies involved and whatever, there's the other guy on my other shoulder that says, "Oh, that's what happened? Good."
Yeah.
And that might not be where you sit. This might be a case of
No.
where I have to separate from Jake. So, guys, if you're living under a rock, if you haven't been on X or Twitter or like stuck your head out of your window today, basically the story is this: a bunch of different events
Choppy
around WrestleMania,
waters.
a bunch of events around WrestleMania, so that are benefiting from WrestleMania, so benefiting from WWE. So at WrestleCon Super Show, Leon Slater was supposed to face Ricochet. At Create a Pro, Nick Nemeth was supposed to face MJF. At the MLP Multiverse show, which I may or may not look into, actually, because MLP is doing some cool stuff, Moose was supposed to face somebody. I'm sure it was somebody from AEW, because that's the linchpin here. And at a GCW show nearby, Bear Bronson was supposed to take on MJF. None of these
Yeah.
matches are happening anymore. These matches have all been pulled because of partnership conflict. Pulled by, what's his name? Silva. I can't think of his first name now. That's not great. Carlos Silva. There we go. And it's been made apparent, either directly or indirectly, that TNA is not going to make their stars available, at least in the interim, or at least in the next coming little while, if to indie shows, if the opponent is somebody from AEW.
Yeah.
Now, it's worth noting that the last AEW versus TNA match of any significance, and obviously somebody's going to come along at some point and tell me of something else that I'm not aware of, was Jody Threat versus Mercedes Moné in WPW, where Mercedes Moné dropped the Winnipeg Wrestling Championship to Jody Threat. Jody Threat, who's awesome, and I wish was doing more in TNA, but that's another story for another day. I want to get this out of the way quickly, because people are caveating it with like, oh, I guess TNA's okay with it as long as their star wins. Here's the problem with that. That's only a problem if AEW is also going in with the mentality of only if our guy wins.
Yeah. And I
Because,
guess they
because
both agreed on the
TNA,
creative already. Like, it was said and done, and that was not a problem.
Plus, I haven't seen any of this footage of Mercedes Moné taking the loss to Jody Threat, so I feel like
Yeah,
I've
so that was supposed to be pre-agreed upon, and that went south, I guess. But Ricochet and Leon had the creative set and agreed upon already. Like that was not a problem.
mhm.
And WrestleCon posted on their social media saying, despite being previously cleared by all parties and management, Leon has been pulled from
Oh
the
yeah,
match one
they're
week
real butthurt
prior.
about it. They're real butthurt about it, and I would love to be on the side
And
because
well, it does
you
suck
know,
because it's a week before. I wish they probably should have made this
yep.
happen a while ago. But I wonder what brought this about, because the only thing that I've seen recently is the silly what do you call it? Iconic Wrestling Avenue or venue like that. What is it? The Berwyn Eagles Club. I always forget. Yeah,
No,
they had basically remember the last week there was a report of a stabbing that happened and it wasn't true.
okay, okay.
So at an indie show, they said that there was an audience member that was partaking in stabbing some of the wrestlers, and everybody came out and beat the snot out of the perpetrator.
Oh yeah, that was the you sent me that video.
Yes, because that was what was being
Uh,
circulated by the staff and wrestling there. So what happened was the locker room actually beat up a fan, circulated videos of it, and when it got out to the audience, not just the regular wrestlers they were sharing it with, they celebrated it like it was something cool. They
mm,
started to get blowback, and they're like, no, they made up the stabbing story to cover for it. So to cover their own asses, they lied about the stabbing thing. So now they've been charged with, or not charged, but are going to be charged with assault, and it leads to now ongoing
inciting a
arrests
riot.
and
Yeah.
lawsuits. The town's involved. All these people are involved
Yeah.
now. Lawyers, police, so much is involved in this because the longtime venue had its license and permits pulled. So now GCW also can't perform there. So GCW just said, we've been informed by the venue that our event has to be canceled. We're looking for a new event venue later
Mm.
today.
Anyways, here's my point, right? And the Jody Threat Mercedes Moné is kind of a side point, but I want to address it right off the bat. If people are saying that, oh, the Jody Threat Mercedes Moné match still happened only because the person from TNA was winning, and they're making the accusation that TNA will only work with AEW if they get to win. First of all, with TNA or anybody else for that matter. If somebody chooses not to no longer work with you or work in cooperation with you, unless you have a long-standing contract with them, they can say no. But here's the thing: if the AEW fan out there, if your point is Jody Threat was still able to face Mercedes Moné because Jody Threat was going to win and because TNA will only let this happen if their guys win, how about this? How about you let Ricochet take a loss? If that's it's not the case, but if that's the case, why don't you let Ricochet take a loss? Why don't you take whoever was supposed to face Moose, let them take a loss? You know, Nemeth, Bear Bronson, they were both supposed to face MJF at various events. I know you don't necessarily want your world champion taking a loss, but consider it. If you want to pull the thread that, oh, TNA is doing the whole, oh, if unless we win, we're not playing anymore. It's the same thing that people said about Danny Luna about like, oh, give me a title or I'm leaving TNA, which I don't think happened, by the way.
No.
But you can't run a company like that. You can't run interpromotional stuff like that either. And yes, to your point, I wish I was able to look at this and say, oh, that's really unfortunate for the people involved. That's
Yeah.
really unfortunate for the crowd involved. It's probably, I mean, we don't know what wrestlers like what wrestlers, so I don't want to.
Yeah. You don't want to speculate, but it is problematic, no doubt. And that's kind of the issue here at hand.
All right, let's pretend there's not a cut right there and go back to what I was saying a second ago. Um, 4 matches over 4 various independent shows. We're not getting them anymore. Leon Slater, Ricochet, I'm sure would have been good. Nemeth, MJF, I'm sure would have been great. Moose versus TBD is TBD. Bear Bronson, MJF, cool, cool, cool. Here's the thing, and I probably said this before we got cut off. I would love to be on your side of things and say, oh, it's a shame that we're not getting that match anymore. But look at the people involved
Yeah.
and
No,
look at
my
look
thought is
at
I don't know why it comes down to like, sub 1, 10 days to go. I was trying to figure out as to why that happened that
I have
way.
I have a theory. I have a theory, and we're gonna get there. But I think the discourse is, oh, the Jody threat thing went through because the TNA person got to win is ridiculous. The fact that Leon Slater has dared to show up on WWE TV, so he's in the cult now. You know, Nemeth used to be in WWE, so he's in the cult. Moose was on NXT once, so he's in the cult. So
Yeah.
what's your deal on Bear Bronson there? I'm pretty sure Bear Bronson's never touched WWE programming. Um, and it's unfortunate because other than Ricochet, I like and obviously Mercedes, I like everybody involved here. Jody Threat's great, Bear Bronson's great, MJF is great, Moose, Nemeth, Leon Slater, all these people. And it's just the immediate, oh, there's WWE like shoehorning everybody. There's WWE strong arming everybody because, TNA wouldn't have had the balls to do this if WWE wasn't making them do this. Let me make the case because long before
Mm.
the TNA WWE deal, TNA had plenty of reason to tell AEW to go fuck themselves. First of all, they did their own crossover, and to a man, to a person, to a woman, to a talent, to a backstage person, every single person will tell you that the AEW TNA crossover was a disaster.
Through and through.
Not
They
Kenny,
just came in, took
not
their big title, and walked out.
yeah.
That's all they
And I want to
did.
be and I want to be clear. I'm not, banging on Kenny Omega for this because I don't know how much of it was actually him versus like, hey, this is just what we're doing. Because remember, at the same time as they were doing, like, he was doing the belt collector shtick, you had Tony Schiavone and Tony Khan like doing their little clips backstage talking about how shit TNA was
Yes.
and all that kind of stuff. He's not with the company anymore, but Scott Demore has done numerous interviews about how like damaging working with AEW was. And how they tried every which way, every wrestler that had any single idea of anybody everything was shot down. It's
Yes.
just we need two more belts to put on Kenny. I want to stress this is not me taking a dig at Kenny once again,
No,
but
that's a
like
fact. They
we-
they
we're
legitimately came in there,
we're
took
we're
it was
telling
part of
we're
the belt
telling yeah,
collector gimmick. Like, that was the point of the
we're telling a belt
story.
collector story, and your belts will do.
Yeah.
They
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 just
treated
needed
T
titles.
they treated TNA like Mercedes Moné just treated those like other 14 companies that we don't really know about because
Well, did
the
you see what
exposure.
happened? She couldn't even vacate all of them properly. Like, some of them
uh,
had to be, like, handed off to somebody else because she wouldn't drop it
some of them
directly.
handed off to somebody else, and some of them were
Yeah.
just vacated completely because. And as I'll say what I said last night, supposedly there was travel issues. Fuck off.
Yeah, because she planned on always going out there and making sure that those titles were represented like she promised.
Because here's the thing as well, right? No, the crossover between TNA and WWE isn't perfect. Um, there's more they could be doing. There's some things they could have been doing differently. They reacted way too quickly to the backlash when they decided to actually do the invasion show, and then they just made it showcase, and then it was watered down and blah blah blah. It would be really awesome if TNA could be integrated with more of the main roster, not just strictly NXT. There are things to say about how the TNA WWE thing is working. Here's something you could do better. Here's something I wish you hadn't done. Here's something that's good, but could have been one more step up. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination,
Yeah, no,
but
but
please try to tell me that they're not doing better under a deal with WWE than they are with a one-time like stunt almost of like, hey, Kenny Omega showed up and stole two of our belts.
yeah, tell me they're
So
not doing better. Tell me they're not appearing better. Tell me that they're not held to a higher
mhm.
standard now. Oh, no, it's just low TNA. No, they just did their record
did
box
anybody
office ever. People
Did
forget
anybody
about
other
that,
than
though.
Kenny show up in TNA at all to add any oomph to their show? Did anybody from TNA get a chance to showcase themselves at all on the stage of Dynamite, such as it is? No, it was just a Kenny thing. Hey, I've got some extra belts. And then they did the empty arena match with Moose.
Yeah,
Like,
and that was it.
okay, that's fine. Everybody
And
on
they
the
had
TNA
him
side
give
said,
it to Christian eventually. Like,
yep,
that was their make
yeah.
good for everything
And
was
the
Christian.
thing was like, yeah, but and such and such and such. Like Christian has a history with TNA, which is fine. And I will say it's cool that they do acknowledge that some of the people on their roster from the old TNA have a history in TNA. We're going to talk about the current TNA roster in a second because that's another thing. But does that have anything to do with WWE?
Yeah,
Hey, we
no.
tried to work with you too, and it fucked us in the ass. Now,
And the
the
thing
big
about a
thing,
lot of this is how it's being handled. That
mhm,
immediately it was fed bad. They used their
mhm.
muscle. You didn't even get a chance for any of this to,
AEW and its
you know.
fandom and all the little fingers like, Meltzer and all the other, like, little slugs out there, they didn't turn their guns on TNA until TNA upgraded from an AEW deal to a WWE deal, and they turned on an entire company like they turn on an individual wrestler. They Ray Phoenixed TNA.
Yeah.
Like they pented TNA, they Jade Cargilled TNA, they CM Punked TNA, and I can go on and on and on because way more people, wrestlers and fans, would rather be at a WWE show. Now, you know what else has
Well,
nothing.
the theory right now is that this was done intentionally by WWE because this is before Dynasty Weekend. It was done to put the focus back on TNA and WWE. WWE forced TNA to do this because then you had the response from MJF
I'm sorry,
and
I'm gonna cut you
everything
off.
he
I'm gonna
said.
cut you off. I'm gonna cut you off right there.
Yeah,
WWE in April of all months does not need any help keeping the attention on them. I had the stupid argument with somebody on Twitter today or on X today, and they were like, "Oh, look at the WrestleMania ticket prices," and it's like da 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 da. I'm like, "Okay, cool. Let's see what All In is doing. All In is doing like 10,000 less than one of the nights of WrestleMania. They've got 26,000 something. Um, WrestleMania has a combined almost 81,000, right? Oh, but you have
currently,
to do
yeah.
it. You have to do it by one night. By one night. No, you don't, because it's two nights. It's two tickets. If I buy two tickets, it's two tickets. Fuck off. If your argument is you need to cut WrestleMania in half so that AEW can look competitive, WWE wins. And I'm not just saying WWE wins because I'm the WWE guy, but mathematically, WWE wins. The month of
Yeah.
WrestleMania, of all months, the month of WrestleMania, the month of Stand and Deliver, oi, 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 the month of Rebellion, these companies don't need any assistance to stick out. They're already winning.
Yeah.
It's if you wanted to make this, what we say the couple of months after WrestleMania where it used to be that like traditional lull, I might be able to have that conversation. It would still be bullshit, but I would have that conversation. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. And I'm just saying what the current, zeitgeist is
What what
online.
what 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 the peoples are saying,
Yeah, so
the new spin, the new spin.
because TNA is being blamed, obviously, but it's all
It's all
TNA in
WWE.
lieu of WWE. Like they're the ones that
Yes,
actually
of course,
doing
of
it.
course.
TNA is not
Oh,
acting on their own merit. And then obviously Moose was pulled from the MLP. MJF called in the Busted Open Radio, and then he went on a tirade. He's like, let's talk about TNA, the fact they're pulling young talent off the shows and they're barely paying them any money whatsoever and telling them, hey, you can't wrestle because there's a guy from another promotion that is wrestling on this show. He's like, does that help your
it's
talent
not that they're
grow?
wrestling on the same it's not that they're wrestling on the same show, it's that you, running AEW, have a talent that's going to benefit directly from working with somebody in TNA. Is that a bad thing? No, it shouldn't be a bad thing, but here's the problem I have. This is something that always happens. First of all, we're gonna get into some more examples later on, but I'm gonna say something personally. Personally, I go to Destiny Wrestling. Destiny Wrestling is fucking great, and I'm not saying that I've got the ins and outs of, like, the running of a Destiny show, right?
No,
But
but you
but
have
but it
more than the common fellow.
but it happened around the time that the Rascals left TNA and went to AEW. The Rascals were originally announced for that show. One of the 4 of them got to be involved by the time we got to the show. Guess which one it was?
Yep.
Trey Miguel was there. That was awesome. It was a lot of fun. But the rest of the Rascals were pulled. Okay. Did I sit there and old man yells at cloud? No. It kind of sucked, but I got to see Trey Miguel, and Trey Miguel is on his road to retribution and doing way better than the other ones, sadly enough, because they are only there to be punching bags for other stories of boring wrestlers that have already been there 6 years and overstayed their welcome. So
Yeah.
let's not say that, pulling somebody from a show, card subject to change and all that, and it's TK's prerogative. If he's doing it to be bitter, if he's doing it to be, spiteful or whatever, it's his prerogative. It's his company, right? Why doesn't that extend to Anthem and TNA and Carlos Silva? Oh, because they're tangentially related to WWE. Fuck off.
And that's what it comes down to is, what's good for me, not for thee. We're the good guys. We wouldn't do
Mhm,
that, even though they have. They've done it
mhm,
before, and they've done it many times where they pulled their muscle. You don't want the
mhm.
people, they could work on the same card, that's fine, but you don't want them working together. Hey, guess what? You know why though? That stemmed, as you said, so far they keep putting out there that, well, the creative was agreed upon, but no one said that just because it was agreed upon, yeah, they came to an agreement doesn't mean they were working together well or it was easy to work with one
And here's the thing,
another.
I go back to the other bullshit accusation that people are coming up with. Oh, TNA's pulling all their wrestlers because they don't want them losing to AEW guys. Cool. If you really want the match to happen, let Leon Slater beat Ricochet then.
Yeah.
I know that that's not the actual thing, but if you're gonna throw out bullshit like that, cool. Okay, come to the table, say that your national championship that you ripped off from another company can lose to Leon Slater, who's carrying the signature title of his company, and who's better than Ricochet. Let's be real for a second. Now,
Mhm.
you said it, other people have said it, and I will come with the very, very simple answer. And this is even coming from people that are defending AEW. One of the theories out there, and I personally believe it because I don't fucking blame them. Since they started working with WWE, how many times has AEW and Warner Brothers coincidentally moved Collision to Thursday to fuck with Impact?
Oh,
Right in the beginning,
both
early days,
ways. They've
finally getting it
moved
to
it. They've moved to screw with WWE. They've moved to screw with Impact.
Mhm.
They've even had specials the same night as long advertised TNA things. So
Yep,
TNA
of
went
course.
ahead and had their Friday show, and then they would have like a special of what do
Yeah,
you call it? It used
Friday
to be
Friday Rampage or whatever, yeah.
Rampage. Wow, yeah.
But I think
Haven't
I think
said
it's
that in
kinda
a
funny
while.
that look at where they see where the threat is, right?
Mhm.
TNA, "Oh, TNA, like, they're never gonna get anywhere. Yeah, they got a TV deal, but they're never gonna get anywhere. They're not a threat, but let's just put Collision on there to fuck with them anyway." "Oh, NXT is not really competition. We it's just a developmental whatever, blah, 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 but we can move Dynamite to Tuesday every once in a while. That's not counter programming. Counter programming is NXT existing on Wednesday before you did.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Mhm.
But no, but that does seem to be one of the straw that breaks the camel's back type of thing. Um, they did it literally last Thursday to go up against Impact.
Yeah. And we've
And
known this.
here's the thing, it would be the most level playing field thing ever because TNA is pre-taped a lot of the time. They need to work on that. That's something TNA needs to have a second look at. TNA Impact, most of the shows are pre-taped. Collision is pre-taped, but it runs on Saturday. Oh, because you didn't want to compete with something and you didn't want to compete with something and you didn't want to compete with something. Collision, they know Collision is not going to do good numbers.
Yeah.
But what they can do is throw Collision at something and try to
And
use it as a magnet.
try to chip
You
away a
know,
little bit
chip
at
away. Yeah,
whatever is on. Yeah.
yeah, the exact same type of thing. So apparently, the fact that they did that again last week. Oh, it's just WBD. You can't blame them for what WBD does. Why not? You blame WWE for what TKO does.
Yeah.
Let's
It's
have some
okay for
equal playing
them.
field
Why
here.
why can't we
Let's
turn
have
this
some fucking
around?
equal playing field here. So they tried to work directly with AEW. It was a disaster. They got fucked in the ass. WWE or AEW is now targeting them. Let's be real for a second. The enemy of my enemy, or sorry, the friend of my enemy is my enemy. They're doing the opposite of what the expression should be. You're with WWE now. You're wearing the black spot. That's what it is.
That's all
If
it
it,
comes
and if
down to.
and,
You have
and
the
if anybody's
stain
watching,
on
well,
you,
and if anybody's
Spaz.
watching Welcome to Dairy, if anybody's watching Welcome to Dairy, you know you don't want to hang out in the spot. Just saying.
Even if you're
Moving
not, I don't think
swiftly.
anybody wants to be in a black spot. God.
Anyways, didn't mean to go in that direction, but like we tried to
Sounds
work with you and
icky.
you fucked us. We tried to stay away from you and you're still fucking us because you don't like that we're working with a bigger company that's benefiting us and you don't like the fact that we got a TV deal and that so many people are talking about TNA potentially being the number 2 company in North America. that's where the bullshit of, oh, TKO's already bought TNA, they just haven't made it public yet. It's like that would literally be illegal.
Yeah. It doesn't
It would
people
be
don't
illegal.
understand.
It would
It's
be
like the TikTok lawyers, like, when they think certain things, they're like, "Oh, I have to get my phone call," or like, "Oh, you can't arrest me because of the" like, all the things that they try and pull, and the cops
Mhm.
just laugh like,
And it's one of those
You
things like,
don't know the
I'm not
law."
like, Jake, I'm not a business person, right?
Yeah.
But it was a big enough deal, and we're
But you're
coming up
not an
on,
idiot either.
yeah. No, but here's the thing. In the general wrestling conversation in North America, I think it's safe to say that AEW, WWE, NXT, TNA were all in the conversation more than, say, AAA
Yeah.
at the time. But last year, look how much coverage there was with WWE just absorbing AAA.
Oh, yeah.
What's gonna happen? How's it gonna be produced? Is it gonna be better? Is it gonna be worse? Are they gonna ruin it? Like, not all of it was good coverage, but it got a lot of coverage.
Yeah,
There
it was
is there
effective at
is no
something.
fucking way. There is no fucking way if WWE bought TNA, we wouldn't know about it like a year before it happened.
Yeah, they it doesn't work like that. You literally can't do that.
Look how
It's
long okay, it's quite a different thing, but the sale of TNA to TK what eventually became TKO, we were
yeah,
hearing about that 2 and 3 years in advance.
exactly, like, it
If
the
WWE was gonna buy TNA next year, we would already know.
yes, it doesn't work that way because of
Because
shareholders
even if
and
they didn't make it
stocks and
public, even if they didn't make it public, somebody in one of those rooms wants to make a buck.
yeah, but public trading, so there's so many issues to
Yep.
this that just don't feasibly work. Again, like I said, it's like the fake mind of these, like the TikTok lawyers and stuff. No, I don't have to give you my ID. I don't have to roll down my window. I don't have to, "Oh, why are
"Oh,
you breaking my window and
I've got a
beating the
sign
shit
on
out
my
of me?"
window." Yeah. "Why
You
why
know?
why did you shoot me? I don't know. Why were you trying to run me over with your car? I hope you have a
Yeah,
pretty good day."
exactly.
Yep, and all the
Uh-huh.
wrong people are getting off with diminished capacity too. Let's fuck off with that noise as well and put monsters in prison. That is an entirely separate
Hey.
conversation for another day. So, what do we got so far? We got bullshit that TNA is demanding to win every match.
Yeah.
All that bullshit is landing on the shoulders of Jody Threat, who doesn't deserve it at all.
No, which
We
really
got the
sucks because they know that's the problem. They know how to hang someone innocent out to dry so
Mhm.
that your side is like, "Oh, well, if I keep saying
Because
this, it only affects this one."
Mercedes Moné really gave a fuck about the Winnipeg Pro Wrestling Women's Championship.
That's what I'm saying, you know?
If she gave so much of a shit about it, why isn't her defending that title all over, AEW social media? We don't see it. Jody Threat's
Ever.
kinda getting hung out to dry with that fake theory. AEW versus TNA was a disaster. AEW is counter programming Impact for something that they don't see as much of a threat at all. And now we wanna get into the topic of people being blocked from participating in other shows. In the last year alone, Edge and Christian were told in no way, shape, or form were they allowed to participate or even be present for the Hardys Dudleys one last table match,
Yeah,
which we'll
they
get to
were
yet.
stricken from that. I
They were
forgot about
stricken
that.
from that, and I think it might have even been the same of it was Bound for Glory. So yeah, the
Yes.
Hall of Fame was the same night.
Yeah.
Madison Rayne wasn't able to join the TNA Hall of Fame along with the other two beautiful people.
Yep.
And not that it's directly related to TNA, but let's not forget that while Ricky Saints was on the shelf in Tony's basement, pretty much being told you're not going to be on television, but also I'm not going to let you go. He was also pulled from like every single indie thing that he wanted to do because they knew that he wanted to go to WWE, so they wanted to be spiteful. We're going to keep you at home,
They did
and you're
that
not
to so many talents, though.
Ray
We've
Phoenix as well.
yeah, Ray
But like,
Phoenix
okay,
and
but think
Aleister
about this though,
Black
right?
and Rusev
Here,
and on and on and on.
Here's the thing. The Madison thing kinda sucks because 'cause I'd like to see Madison Rayne get, acknowledged along with the rest of the other beautiful people. Ricky Saints not being able to do anything until the end of his contract is terrible, but it's also like, okay, after a year, you'll be over it, you can put it behind you, whatever. You're talking about the Dudleys retiring, the Hardys are close to retiring, and Edge and Christian are closer. Like, what you've done is you've taken away one thing and said, "Yeah, you're never gonna get that.
Yeah. There's no
You're
way to
never gonna get that
recreate
ever."
this. They didn't take
There's no
away a match against, Javon and Leon. They took away a match that was their final goodbye to their brothers.
for the company that says they want to be the new stewards of all the wrestling history because Vince and WWE, because we still pretend that Vince is in the WWE. for a company that says they want to be the new stewards of wrestling history to block the probably the most renowned like triple threat tag team rivalry in recent memory. Like, fuck off. And then to
Yep.
turn around and be like, what do you mean our guys can't fight your guys? Well, you can fuck off twice. It is what it
What
is.
did you expect? Yeah.
It's such a, and I'm sorry. I think we literally did this last night. It is becoming more and more and more blatantly obvious. And I look to other podcasts and I look to, I'm going to shout them out again here. The guys over at the Wrestling for Life Network. KJ was doing
Yes,
his uh
indeed.
his Dynamite watch along last night, and that came up in the chat over there. You cannot deny to me that they are not intentionally telling you a story in AEW that TNA stars or stars that come from TNA are shit.
Yeah,
Look at
they're
Josh
less than.
Alexander. I mean, Josh Alexander just had surgery, so you can maybe get away with that one. But what the fuck was he doing before that? Ace Austin moved from one jobber fucking faction to the other with no notice, with no notoriety, and nobody gives a flying fuck. His only notable thing on there so far was he got his ass handed to him by Moxley. And I don't hate Moxley as much as most people, but goddamn, the Rascals should be the top of that division if they want to say they have a division.
Yeah, they don't go.
The
That's the
Rascals,
problem
I'm
right
sorry,
now.
even without Trey Miguel, because I do like what's happening with Trey Miguel, and I do like that TNA went the fuck cancel culture route with him and brought him back and belted him up like he deserves and whatever. But even without Trey Miguel, the Rascals are everything the Young Bucks think they are.
Yes, absolutely, because of the youthful energy they represent and how cool they are with the kids and yet, all that shit. Yeah. Yeah.
Deanna Perrazzo, Taya Valkyrie, Madison Rain, where are they? And don't tell me ROH. Don't tell me
um,
ROH. Yeah,
ROH?
exactly. Their ace in the hole is they put the belts, the trios belts on Speedball and Knight. And initially, that was so that they could be emo cowboys sidekicks. Fuck off with the
Yeah.
trios belts. The trios belts were used to just say fuck everybody, and that goes way back to when Punk was suspended and the Elite were pretending to be suspended. So
Yep.
what the fuck are we doing? And the other argument I get is, oh, well, they did such and such with Samoa Joe and he used to be in TNA. I'm talking about people that were in TNA when AEW had its genesis and have since come from TNA to AEW.
Yeah. Have
They're
moved
taking this
on.
they're taking the stab at current TNA. They got Samoa Joe off the back of Samoa Joe having WWE stamped on the back of his head. Let's be
Exactly. With
fucking
a
real.
wet poncho, you know?
I don't subscribe to the idea that anybody is like when we use the shorthand of like, oh, they picked up another WWE guy. What it really means is here's somebody who's become a star through the efforts and platforming and production and worldwide scope of WWE. And now you want to benefit from that work that was put in by WWE. It doesn't mean WWE owns that person,
No.
but it's a shorthand for you're going to benefit from all the work that the WWE did. And WWE
Yes.
did put like it wasn't always good. WWE put work into Samoa Joe. I'm talking about people that made the crossover directly. Josh Alexander, who was Mr. TNA for a long time. Ace Austin, who never quite was the tippy top guy of the X division, but pretty damn close. The
Yeah.
Rascals were the tag division.
They
It's a
tried
loss.
to
It's
to
a
carry.
loss to TNA that they don't have the Rascals anymore. Good job. You got a shot across the bow. Deanna Perrazzo was the women's division for a while before she passed it on to people like Masha Slamovich and Killer Kelly and so on and so on and so on. Taya Valkyrie, maybe not at the top of anybody's list, but charismatic as hell, character as hell, all that kind of thing. Madison Rain, as I say, we don't even let her join the Hall of Fame because the Hall of
Yeah,
Fame
but
has the
she's
initials
another one that's
TNA
very
above it.
consistent. Exactly.
Speedball and Knight, oh, well, we put some belts on them. Yeah, but like, I'll do the old Mick Foley thing. Who doesn't have a belt these days?
Yeah. It
Like,
feels worthless.
they are kayfabe burying TNA as part of their programming as much as they were ever caricaturing Vince McMahon with Mr. Brody Lee when Brody Lee was still alive. Rest in peace.
And now his son is having a match against his 14-year-old son against
Yeah.
Joey Janela.
Hmm.
I don't know how I feel
Yeah.
about that one.
I know how you feel about that. I don't know much about Joey Janela, but considering the people involved, and it looks like a match, like more of an exhibition type
Yeah.
thing, I want to believe that like things that were said, things that were done. It's same as when we see something disrespectful in WWE. Let's be fair for a second. I want to believe that, hey, this is the direction we're going. What do you think? Whatever
Yeah.
the case may be. Same as
It's
like
all a work. It's not a shoot.
yeah,
Yeah.
Punk bringing up Roman's dad is the key example that a lot of people. I want to think that those things have happened. Is it uncomfortable? Yes, but if everybody's okay with it, then it's story uncomfortable, which it's supposed to be. So I'm not. I know how
Oh,
you
no,
feel
I'm
about
more
it.
on just the fact that, like, he's 14, like, just wait a
Well,
while, like, wait a few more years and then get the story out of it. He's
well,
so tiny and the whole thing, and, like, I don't know.
you know what? I can't blame a kid for wanting to do it, and I can't
No, no, I
necessarily
don't blame the
bash
child,
on
it's just
no,
everybody around
but I
him.
can't bash on if they wanna give him, like, this cool moment or whatever, and the proper safety's been put into place,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do safety police on this one.
No, but
I get where you're coming from. I don't have kids. You have kids. You've got a
yeah.
way different perspective than I do. I'm not particularly hating on this one. Like I say, I wanna believe all the right things have been done, all the right conversations have been had, but I don't know that that hasn't happened, so I can't really land on it, if that makes
I'm
sense.
less even about safety, it's more like the mentality
The
behind it.
subject
It's like,
matter.
"I'm sorry you lost your dad, but, you know, giving you this now, I'm worried about ego for the kid, I'm worried about," like, all sorts of, like,
Fair, yeah,
dad
yeah.
things that you don't consider yet, but, just in the scope of it, like, is this the wise way to cash in on his father's death? I'm not saying the moral
I get
police or moral standing,
yeah.
like, that's not I'm not being like, "Oh, I'm offended." It's just something that I
Oh, yeah.
think it's interesting to
I'm not saying you're
discuss.
I'm not saying you're wrong either. I
Yeah.
just it's not something that caught me in a way that I'm
I'm
gonna
not
land on.
offended by it. I'm just like,
No,
I was a
you're
huge
concerned.
fan of his father, and I'm
Yeah.
just like, "Oh, I hope this serves his memory well." I hope
Yeah, I hope
his
it goes the right
wife,
way.
standing in the ring being told, like, "I'm glad your husband died," kinda stuff is worth
Mm,
whatever you're getting paid, whatever your son gets out of it. Like, I hope
mhm,
that's worth it, is my
mhm.
point, so
Yeah. Um, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's not the first time a dead guy's been used to book a
No,
storyline,
no, that's what I'm saying, it's
and
not
he's down there in hell,
I'm saying
all that
more
kind of
like her
thing.
son's expense. Like, was it worth it
Yeah,
using your
yeah.
son to
No, I
get
get
some
it.
entertainment value? He's 14. Is this the best thing to? I don't know.
Maybe not.
But
Maybe not. Um, and in the nicest way I can say this to you, my friend, I hope you're wrong.
yes,
I hope everybody comes out okay.
as do I. I want to
But,
see him prosper and make a name for himself and have fun with it. I just don't want to see
yeah,
him ruined at 15 because he got to do some crazy hardcore matches at 14 and pushed it too hard.
yeah, no, you don't wanna see anybody get ruined for any reason. Look at Liv Morgan's forehead.
Right? I mean,
Anyways, I just wanna
why
cap this off.
Target? But still, that thing is
There's so many
quite the messed
reasons
up land.
I've dragged you along this conversation with me. There's so many reasons for TNA to finally flick the jab back at AEW. And it's unfortunate because I would like to be where most people are. It's like, "Oh, that looked like it could have been a cool match." That's really unfortunate. I'm sorry it went down that way, but I'm sorry. All the history, all the behavior from AEW's side, all the slings and arrows that TNA has taken for being associated with WWE, I can't help but look at this and selfishly and biasly, I hear about this and my initial reaction is fucking good. Show that you're not just gonna keep fucking with people because you've got this illusion that you're the good guy and it not negatively affect you at all ever.
Yeah, do something
Be
about it.
because AEW really does think, well, as long as we keep portraying WWE as the bad guy and anybody associated, anybody that even breathes the same air as WWE as the bad guy, then we can fuck with whoever we want because that makes us the good guy by default. And it's bullshit. It's
There is that
25 years of bullshit.
there is that sense of virtue signaling that comes along with hating
Mhm.
WWE, and I'm not sure how that sentiment I don't know if it because it's not like it's an anti-TKO thing, it's an anti-Fed thing, It's not even like they're
Oh, it is.
anti-corporation, they're just anti-WWE. And
They're
they hide
anti the
it.
guys that are they're anti the guys that are better than them. They're anti the guys that are more successful than them. They're anti the guys that are bigger than them. They're anti the guys that outdraw them. They're anti the guys that the fans want to go to. They're anti the guys that the wrestlers want to go to. And they have such small dick energy as a company that I love to see them get kicked in their small dick by by the one guy that they thought was even smaller.
Right. And that's the
They
thing, because
can't
they
fight.
thought they
They
could
can't
bully
fight
this, whole thing. They thought they could
You
just
know what it is?
stomp
You
on
know
you
what
and
it
be
is?
done with it.
And I'm gonna get off this because we do have a pay-per-view to talk about.
Yes.
You know what it is? It's the guy that goes to school all day and gets bullied by the football player, which is not good, and it's not necessarily what WWE does, and they can't do anything about it because they're weak as shit. So they come home and they pick on their little brother. They're
Yeah.
trying to little brother TNA, and TNA saying, "Fuck you, no you don't."
Yeah. I mean, really, that's what it comes down to here, is them
And
being
you know
like,
what?
"Oh,
And
by the
that's where I
way."
say good. It's not a dig at MJF. It's not a dig at, Ricochet from a wrestling point of view. Leon Slater versus, like, let's be real. Leon Slater versus Ricochet would be a really fun match.
Yeah.
Ricochet, sorry that you're a dick, and I'm sorry that your boss walks around with small dick energy. Anyways, to make my life really easy, this is where the cut happens, because this is where we switch over to NXT Revenge, the show that we didn't even know was happening until 2 days ago.
This week on Revenge.
Absolutely. So it's a 2-night event. I've looked there's still no wiki page for this, which I
You know
think
what
is
that
insane.
means, Spaz?
No wiki.
2 nights of revenge.
It's not in the dome.
Yeah. Damn
It's
it.
not.
But it's still
Um,
revenge.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited regardless. They know how to get you going for even just a network special.
Yeah.
It's what
true.
they do.
So, for those of you out there that were here for the AAA Rey de Reyes preview where we had Guapo on with us, hoping to have Guapo with us for WrestleMania, we still don't quite know just yet, but send all
Hoping.
the Guapo vibes into the Guapo verse, and maybe we have a Guapo. More pay-per-view day hangouts coming as well. Join us this weekend for Dynasty pay-per-view hangout and Rebellion pay-per-view day hangout. I know which one I'm looking more forward to, but it
I
is what
have
it is.
them both linked from our game night live stream, so you can go ahead and check out
Fantastic.
both.
It's fantastic. I would never say that. That's what Jake tells me. Problem being with this is because it was so spur of the moment and on the fly from a fan point of view, there's still no wiki page, which is insane. And every other dirt sheet that I go to has a different set of this is on night 1, this is on night 2, or this is how they're organizing it. That's how we're organizing it. So much like we did for Rey de Reyes, even though it's a multiple day show, we're just going to talk about the whole card here. And if anything changes throughout the week and it's enough for us to do sort of a secondary preview, we may do that.
Yeah.
But quite
If
frankly,
anything's
it's
added to
WrestleMania
the next
season,
week,
so
yeah.
quite frankly, it's WrestleMania season, and my life's about to get a lot more hectic at work. So the amount of bonus things you get from me might go down just a tad. But let's get into it. I'm going to
If there's
start.
anything massive, I will not leave the people hanging. I will go ahead and deliver some form of
Sometimes,
news. Yeah. So
sometimes hanging is good. I don't.
sometimes.
Anyways, so I'm going to start off with a topic that I know divides opinion.
Mm,
Some people like it, some people hate it, some people just don't care. It's the speed title.
yes.
Recently vacated by Elio Lafleur, who's injured, who's going to be out for 6 months with the I'm not sure what entirely the shoulder issue he is, but they've
I thought
announced it.
it was a separated shoulder, but that led
Yeah.
to something.
They've
And
announced it online, but they've gone as far as to mention it like on the show that he's
yes,
going to be gone for quite a while. So speedy recovery to him, obviously. So we did another mini tournament. It's only 4 people. The semifinal that we have this coming week is the debuting Dorian Van Dukes, who I know nothing about, taking on EK Prosper, formerly known as Eli Knight.
yeah,
Yeah.
And the winner of that will then go on to take on Lexus King, who had his preliminary match this past week against Starboy Charlie, who's now known as Chaz Starboy Hall. I don't know anything about Starboy Charlie. I know I've heard the name. For the first time I've ever seen him on my TV, I thought he was pretty good. Kind of looks like super athletic Spike Dudley, but that, we don't need to worry about that.
Yeah.
He's got the overalls. He's doing the bit there. Had a great first outing. Lexus King is obviously the one that's going to go forward. I'm pretty sure EK Prosper, yeah,
Hey,
is going to go forward. I'm making fun of the name. I'm not making fun of the guy. I think the guy's
live
fantastic.
long and prosper.
Leave alone EK Prosper.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna belt up EK Prosper, and I know it's just the speed title, but he's your next Javon Evans, Leon Slater type. So the speed title works more for him than it would for somebody like Lexus King. Lexus
Yeah.
King's doing his stuff with the birthright. It's a lot of fun.
I like the birthright. They should appear like the Undertaker from
Definitely.
now on, like just creepy and eerie.
The amount of people that I see texting or not texting, tweeting about the birthright and saying how bad it is, and everybody's spell check is spell checking it to birth rate is hilarious. Go up and down Twitter. It's fucking hilarious. I hate the birth rate. Okay, then have more sex. What do you want from my life?
What do you want me to do for you, huh?
But I think the big thing coming out of this particular show immediately off the back of
Pause.
Stand and Deliver, oi, oi, oi. Yes, indeed. Once again, NXT is in a rebuilding phase, and it's kind of cool to sort of zone in on somebody that you think that they're zoning in on as a new project. It looks like EK Prosper is going to be that. I hope they change his name back. They tried new music for the Usos, and it lasted a week,
Less than.
which is good. But it means they're listening because that
That was
great. And
horrific.
you couldn't yeet to it.
No.
EK Prosper
Couldn't even listen to it. It was that bad.
Well, I wasn't listening to it anyway. I was
But
listening
that's
to
what
our
I'm
good
saying,
friends.
see?
I was listening to our good friends over at the Wrestling for Life Network. Shout out to KJ and Nick and Ringsider Anthony, or as
Hey.
I think he's now rebranded himself Anth by Elegance because he's their TNA
See?
guy, and he's good. And he got retweeted by the ladies, which all very
Yeah.
fantastic and fun.
Gotta love that.
But no, it's stuff like that. It's bringing back Balor's old music. It's, hey, we tried something with Usos. People immediately hated it, so we're going to go back. The EK Prosper thing, the rename for no reason other than it kind of sounds like LA Knight, is
It
a dumb
really
thing that people are
does.
talking about quite a bit. So let's just
But
go
that's the
back. It's
only
fine.
thing that they have for it. Sounds like LA Knight.
Yeah.
That's it.
I think they should do instead of Eli Knight, do L.A. What was it? Eli Drake. L.A. Drake.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to do brain math there for a second, and it hurt. Second podcast of the week. Normally I only do one. I'm not as on it as Jake is. Spaz likes to be lazy.
Hey, I haven't stopped yet.
So I'm gonna double down on the preview here. EK Prosper wins the semi. EK Prosper wins the final. Maybe
Yeah, I'm with you.
it spirals into a mini feud with Lexus King. But anyways, as I said, the rebuilding stage of NXT, you can tell that they've picked a couple new people. Keanu Carver's obviously one that they want to do some stuff with. It looks like they're finally doing some stuff with Josh Briggs as well.
Yeah,
The
it was
very next
interesting.
thing, because I know they're losing at least one more member of the women's division, possibly more. And to sort of counteract that, we're getting the I think she's had like cameo appearances before, but we're actually getting the advertised proper debut of the very first Evolve Women's Champion, Callie Armstrong.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been watching Evolve. I haven't seen a whole lot of Callie Armstrong. I've seen the video clips, the video packages that they've put together, because say it with me, say it loud, say it proud. NXT and WWE are really good at video packages.
Yes, the editing.
Looks impressive as hell. Can't wait to see what she does. They haven't announced who she's debuting against, which makes
Not
me
yet.
think it might be
Think,
whatever NXT's version of a local enhancement talent would be.
Yeah, which isn't the worst thing.
And yeah, not much else to say other than she looks good. She looks impressive. She looks like a what's the term that they always love to use? She looks like a physical specimen.
Yes, yes, indeed.
And I'm not gonna puke. But
You know,
was she on LFG as well or no?
I want to say yes.
I'm gonna have to ask Cater Taker
Yeah, I'm
later
trying to remember back, and I think so, but I don't remember. Yeah, me either, Cater Taker. He's just as old as
Michelle
we
gets
are.
mad if
I'm
I
pretty
look
sure
in
she
those
was. I'm
directions.
almost positive she was on
Anyways, cool.
LFG.
I will say one thing or another, NXT, not all of them land, but they do put a lot of effort into their debuts these days, and they don't. It's not like NXT 2.0 where they just said, "Okay, we changed all the colors, and here's 20 new guys."
Yeah, it's not like they're
They're
flashing a bunch of numbers on the screen and having us yell about the numbers, Mason, the numbers.
oh my god, oh my
Oh,
god.
wait.
TNA's coming back to Brampton, August. Good
It's gonna
fucking
be
times.
something.
It's gonna be good. We're going back to the CAA Center. Let's hope people actually stay for the whole show this time. I didn't say that out loud.
Maybe. Maybe
Um,
they will.
but
I
no,
don't know.
and it's the added. It shouldn't be this way, but I kind of do think they need the credit for this at the same time. I'm doubly confident in any debut that NXT has in their women's division because the women run NXT, and I'm not saying
Yeah.
that is a bad thing.
No, the
It,
women have been always, like, something to really fall back on and celebrate. It's
yeah,
never usually
yeah. And it's
a
always big shoes to
problem.
fill, but in this case, we're still in the shadow of them losing Jordan Grace, them losing Julia, them losing Stephanie Vacour, even somebody that went under the radar like Kiana James. They're about to lose JC Jane. Let's be real for a second.
Yeah.
Rumor is that they
Sol
might
Ruka.
Sol Ruka maybe.
I
I'm starting to
heard
get the feel. I'm
I
starting
heard
to get the
she's a
feeling that
lock. There was quite a few that we were talking about last night that supposedly
I've
are
got to.
locks and ready
I
to
was thinking
go.
the same thing up until this past week, and I'm like, what if they bait and switch us, keep her down for a title run, and the one that gets the boost up is Zarya?
Yeah,
Because I
and they want
wouldn't
us to
hate
think it
that.
was I wouldn't hate it
Um,
either because Sol could use a little bit of seasoning on the mic, surely.
yeah.
She's really good overall, but
The
that
other
wouldn't
one
hurt her
that
one bit.
people are talking about, the other one that people are talking about in the same realm as Roxanne Perez, when Roxanne Perez came in, oh, like she's fucking awesome. She could skip NXT altogether. People are starting to, and it's awesome that this is happening, but people are having those kind of conversations already about Kendall Gray.
Yeah.
I'm cautious about that
I am
because,
too. I think she
again,
needs the NXT part of it because
yeah,
she's a very good wrestler, but you could see how she looks like she's wrestling, if that makes sense. It doesn't quite look natural yet, and that's not a bad
maybe
thing.
maybe
She's
not, but I
just
do think what she has leaps and bounds over a lot of other people that have been there a lot longer
oh,
is
yeah,
the crowd latched onto her immediately.
because she has
And
a great,
yeah,
ability to present herself as not just a
and
character, of course, but
putting
as
her arm in
more,
arm
yeah.
with yeah, I can speak, I swear. Putting her arm in arm with Ren Sinclair immediately on her debut in NXT didn't hurt matters either.
No.
I Here's the thing. People are disappointed that she didn't win the title. People are disappointed that it was Lola instead, which I don't understand. Lola's also fantastic. I
Yep.
wouldn't mind if they put a little more, like, don't take her out of the title picture completely, but if they sort of shift gears a little bit and focus on that tag team a little more, that's a tag team call up I wouldn't hate.
Absolutely.
Ren Sinclair and Kendall Gray, and then you can break them up on the main roster and have them go off and do other separate stuff.
Yeah.
Um, all right, so Kelly Armstrong's going to debut. She's got a lot of big shoes to fill because more and more people are heading up Raw and SmackDown way.
Yeah.
But again, they kill it with the ladies on NXT. I'm gonna laugh a lot if her opponent is like Nikita Lyons, and then Nikita Lyons goes back into hibernation. It's fine, don't worry about it. But
It could
I
happen,
don't
as
I
you
don't hate
know.
her. It's just really weird that we see her like every 6 months.
But it is kind of a weird occurrence of how things happen with her because it's like all of a sudden she's back and then she gets beat and then she's gone again. And that's it.
Hey Nikita,
Rawr,
let me see if I can make that lion purr.
rawr, and that's it.
Anyways, switching gears. I like Joe Hendry, but we're having another Joe Hendry concert. Joe Hendry is going to address his future in song.
Yes. And this might be the last Joe Hendry concert in NXT. From what I'm hearing, this is supposed to be it.
I don't think so. I think there's gonna be this thing because there was 4 of them at Stand and Deliver, oi, oi, oi. 2
Yeah.
baby faces, 2 heels. So you had friggin', Joe Hendry and Tony D. Congratulations to Tony D, obviously. On opposite sides of the spectrum there, it's like, okay, we're gonna team up a whole bunch to take out these 2 dickheads, but we still do need to face each other. I think Joe Hendry is gonna be like the final boss for Tony D. He's gonna face Ethan. We're gonna talk about that in a second. I think he goes like, I beat all 3 of you in a 4-way. Now I'm gonna beat all 3 of you individually. Like we'll get
Yeah.
one big event with him facing Ethan, one big event with him facing Ricky, and then one big event with him facing Joe. And then once
Mhm.
he beats Joe, then he goes up.
Makes sense.
I do want
Yeah.
I do want to see the one-on-one match first, but I do think in the middle we're gonna get at least one Tony and Joe versus Ethan and Ricky. We're gonna get those tag matches in the intermediate weeks, and that'll be fun because
Oh, absolutely.
there's a lot of character going on there, and lurking in the background, like I said, for Tony D is Keanu Carver, but we'll get to that in a second. But it's basically like Joe Hendry is gonna like take one sidestep, let Tony D deal with the dickheads, and then be like, "Hey, when you're done like fucking around with these guys, they all deserve a good thumping. I'll still be here for my rematch." I think that's basically what it's going to be. I think it's going to be like very walk the
Str-
line of
Yeah,
like
that kind of
I'm
straightforward.
yeah. I think it's going to walk the line of like, no, I'm not happy that I lost, but I'm not turning heel on Tony D because he beat me.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be like handle your business, and when your business is done, your next business will be me. Um, I don't even know if that necessarily makes it to the next like proper. I don't know what the next proper pay per view is for NXT.
That's a good
Wikipedia is
question.
failing me super hard tonight. But it'll be fun. The other side of that coin might be Joe Hendry just ends up having his concert interrupted by somebody randomly, and there's either a funny segment or he just decks him with a guitar, or
Just
it's
takes him out. Yeah.
this is what I say about Joe, because I was about to say, oh, it'll be a cut and paste Joe Hendry concert, but the cut and paste Joe Hendry concert is still entertaining.
Yes. Like no matter what, you're going to get something good.
Yeah. Even if it's repetitive, he's repeating something I liked, so go ahead and do it again. But I just
Exactly.
don't,
Nailed it.
but again, it's one of those I just don't have much to say about it. Soul and Zarya, last woman standing. This is going to be a lot of fun. Zarya is going to like use some weapons or whatever. Soul's going to be athletic as fuck. Yes, they got very, very, very melodramatic in their match at Stand and Deliver. I didn't
Oi,
want it to
oi.
be this way. I'm all for that because A, it's cheesy and I can laugh at it, and B, people will treat it super seriously and lose their head, and I can also laugh at that. Daniel Bryan, 18 seconds. Don't even worry about it.
Don't even. Excuse me. Yeah, I think Zarya wins this one since she lost at Stand and
Yeah,
Deliver. Yeah, at Stand and Deliver she
Stand and
lost.
Deliver.
So yeah. Oi, oi, oi.
There was also a hint though, and I kind of hope it's not true, because if you lock somebody into a brand new story, then nobody's going anywhere for a while.
Yeah.
Does Zarya suddenly have the culling behind her?
Kind of seems that way. Might be up to something,
Coming out all in
and
black or whatever?
not the
Because
worst
here's the
thing,
thing.
but
Here's the
interesting.
thing. Here's the thing. You're gonna get a lot of tag team matches out of that as well. Because if you're gonna get Izzy Dame and Zarya taking on Sol Ruka and Tatum Paxley,
Yeah.
I'm
That's
talking
a
myself
hell.
into it now. I'm talking myself
Exactly.
into it now.
But that's a hell of a match lineup. But as
I
far as story goes, it leaves a good deal to be desired,
Here's the thing, right?
honestly.
I think Izzy Dame's great. I think Zarya is great. I love Sol Ruka. Tatum Paxley, god damn.
Yeah. And she's got one of
He's so
the
good.
most interesting move sets out there. It's incredible
Oh
what
yeah.
she's able to pull off in the damn ring.
And people fucking love her.
Because she's just lovable. Like
Yeah.
that's one of her super strengths is
Isn't
that
it
she's just
adorable how
able
I
to
kind of want
connect.
to kill you a little?
Exactly. She connects to the audience very well and does so in a very real and honest way. That's
Mhm.
not a facade. It's not fake. It's not an act. She's genuinely like, hey, You people appreciate me being kooky and quirky. I didn't
Yeah.
start this way, but you're making me feel comfortable, and I appreciate you. And that's really all there is
What's
to
it? Y'all are making me feel some kind of way.
it.
All right, Cater Taker, you're done for the evening. Okay, where's Michelle?
I can't find my wife.
That's the problem with making an entrance in the dark. I dropped my
Oh,
keys in it.
that's what I love about Danhausen when he's running around and he's just like, I went the wrong way,
I need
you
to see
know?
Danhausen on the Undertaker podcast.
Mm,
I need to see Danhausen.
just
Yeah. Oh,
without Michelle.
that's the new thing now, eh? If you like WrestleMania, it's really lame because they're so desperate for talent that they're bringing in podcasters, and I'm like, well, the guy that is the 21 in 21 and 0 is a podcaster, so maybe go fuck yourself.
Yeah, you're not exact. It's all right. Never mind. Just let them go.
Kalani
That's what it
Jordan
turns into.
versus Kalani Jordan versus Miss Parker.
Now this is kind of an ongoing feud, obviously, but it was interesting the way it was established.
It kind of
And
exists. This feud has existed in the background for a long time. It
yeah,
kind of sneaky has been going on a long time. I'm all for Sol Ruka and Zarya having the last woman standing match, but I kind of feel like this is the one that deserves the stip.
absolutely. This one is
Or
is
or this is going to be a clusterfuck and it's going to lead us to one with a stip.
that's
Um
probably it, more than
I
likely,
wouldn't
but
I wouldn't mind these two. Like I know that they've kind of like unofficially made NXT Underground Lola Vice's thing, but you can put these two in there. It's
yeah,
fine.
that could work.
Miss Parker can throw her
Miss
ass at you so hard you
Parker.
fall out of the ring. Miss Parker.
Uh,
Gotta do the big Nick thing and take off my cap for a second.
yes, Miss
Um,
Parker.
Here's the thing. I like both of these ladies, and I really
Yeah,
don't care who wins. 'Cause I want to like. I've seen them fight. I'm looking forward to seeing them fight. And even though I'm already looking forward to seeing them fight, I'm looking forward to seeing them fight again. So I don't care who wins here. But again, kind of like what we said last night with a couple of the matches, I don't care who wins in this match in the good way.
yes.
Like there's a good way where you have a good match with two good talents
See,
where you're
senor.
like, I
That's
don't care who
exactly
wins.
it.
I don't care who wins because either option is awesome.
Yes. Either
I think
way, I
Kalani
feel like
Jordan,
I've got my money's worth, my entertainment's worth, however you want to phrase it.
I think Kalani Jordan did a lot for herself going to TNA. We're treading over old ground here, but we've seen a lot of people go over to TNA and sort of flex their creative and character muscles a little bit.
Yeah, it
And
helped them
Rita
out big
Parker,
time.
I never looked into why, because maybe it's not any of our business, but she was gone for a bit, and she's done the opposite of Kalani. She's done the benefit of she was really hot with the fans when she disappeared, and it grew while she was gone, and it popped off when she came back. And it's one of those, hey, you weren't here for a while, and now you are. So now we want everything for you because you weren't here for a while. And
Yeah.
Kalani is just doing like really awesome bitchy character work.
But it
It's good.
works so
It's
well.
it's just going to be some good shit. And yes, I'm looking at this show or these two shows, I should say, with the level expectation of it's just an elevated weekly episode of NXT. It's not a pay-per-view. And that allows you to sort of like not have low expectations, but have relaxed expectations. And there is a difference.
Yes.
Um,
But
it's
that
very
doesn't
much
mean a
like,
ton because we get on these week-to-week shows too,
oh yeah,
title changes
oh yeah.
and
It's
things
going to be
of
it's an
that
elevated episode, which
note.
means it's going to be
So,
better than what we get on a regular episode, and what we get on a regular episode is already pretty damn good.
yeah.
But I'm going in with the same sort of mentality. Like we talk about the difference between a TNA proper pay-per-view and a TNA Friday show.
Yes.
That are I think they call like TNA Plus exclusives or however the
Whatever,
terminology goes.
yeah.
And it's not that the shows are bad; it's a different set. It's like watching a WWE pay-per-view watching versus a Saturday night's main event. Saturday
Yes.
night's main event is going to be fun for what it is, but an apple can try as hard as it wants. It's not going to be an orange. Can't be the
No, it's
orange.
not.
The orange is too fantastic. Now there's orange juice. Jake, there's orange juice, and it's getting warm. How can we cool down the orange juice, Jake?
I don't know. I thought it was apple juice, but
Oh no. I was being bad and you made it worse.
I ran out of my ice cubes, but I was drinking all the apple juice.
Oh no. Oh no. What has happened? My orange juice was getting warm, so I got some pretty good crushed ice.
Oh.
Oh no, I'm mixing up my metaphors now. It's
No,
very
sir.
Italian.
All we have left here is Tang. No orange juice, just Tang.
Hootie Tang.
Hootie tang.
Anyways, speaking of awesome ladies action, we've got the Callie Armstrong debut. We've got the Sol Rukasaria last woman standing match. We've got the Kalani Jordan versus Miss Parker. How about one more ladies match? How about a
Yeah.
rematch from Stand and Deliver? Oi, 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 or kind of. Lola Vice defending against JC Jane, getting her contractually obligated rematch. First of all, have you seen the replays of the end of that match at Stand and Deliver? And it's just JC flat on her back, like giving the smile and the nod and the thumbs up to Lola Vice as she like
Yeah.
took the 3-point. Very, very cool to see.
Great moment.
Very, very cool to see. It's like when you go back and you watch Seth Rollins' Heist of the Century, and you
Yes.
can very clearly hear him saying, "Thank you, brother,"
Thank you to Roman. Yeah.
as he's pinning him. I mean, we all get the idea that JC Jane's a pretty kick-ass person in
Yes,
real
and
life.
we know
Like,
that she puts
everything
people
I've
over.
heard or read or seen anybody else like talking about
She's
her.
not a real heel. She's a great person, and
Even in the moments where she's like been a heel and got a heel victory and like picked up the title at the first time, and the good person kind of like seeps out
shines
a little
through.
bit. Yeah,
Yes.
it's really cool. Friggin', I've heard people say it, and I'm gonna double down on this. She's got to be the next one going to the main roster. Every NXT fan is going to have their backup as to how good or bad Raw or SmackDown treats JC Jane.
Yes. Oh,
She should be a
absolutely.
star. She should be standing face to face with your Charlottes and your Alexas and yes, your Biancas and your Naomis and your Stephanie Bakors and
All the above.
her and I don't know why I wanna see her have another round with Jordan Grace just because, like,
I think that'd be
she's
great.
she's so she's so good at being, like, as per the real person, but, like, she's so good at playing that bitchy character, and Jordan Grace is not the most charismatic person in the world, but
No,
she's
but she's
very
so
good
good in ring.
no, but she's very good at being that particular person who will just stand there stoically while somebody's, like, being a dick, and then
Yes.
wait until they're done, and then just throw them into the 5th row. Like,
Existing strictly as an
with
anti-bully
yeah.
by existing.
Yeah, but with deadpan delivery, "Okay, are you done talking?"
Yes.
That
I
kind of
love it.
thing. Um, I'm gonna kinda go back to back because the both title matches we're talking about, I think, are kind of doing the same thing. Here's our brand new champions. They were crowned in multi-person matches, so they're gonna give individual rematches to solidify their new title status. So we might as well combine the 2 matches. Lola's giving her rematch to JC. Tony D, it's not a rematch for Ethan because he's not the former champion, but it's the similar kind of deal. Tony
Yes.
D, if you win in a multi-person, there's always like, oh well, you beat me because of that other person. Okay, let's take that to task. You and me
Yeah,
one on
let's
one,
take the other ones
and
out,
you
and
solidify it. Because I'm
I
not
like
gonna lie,
Tony
I
D as
know
champ as well. It's an interesting,
yeah, I like the way he carries himself because he's
yes.
not. People are gonna hate that I'm saying this. It's the Austin element. I'm not saying he's being Stone Cold. I'm not saying he's like Stone Cold, but
No, that aura a
Stone
bit.
Cold Steve Austin was the good guy without ever being an actual good guy.
Yes.
If that makes any sense. Like, I'm still gonna fuck everybody up, but the majority of the people that I fuck up are gonna be heels. So I'm babyface by default.
Yes, by
And
their design only.
but JC had a hell of a run. The overwhelming outpouring for JC Jane on the night of Stand and Deliver. You can go on various dirt sheets and you can see they've sort of like collated some of the tweets. Like tens and 20s and 30s of tweets of women from the main roster telling her like, yeah, if you thought that people weren't picking you because we had all these other people, you had a hell of a run. You should be proud. Can't wait to have you up here. Like people breaking kayfabe all over the fucking place. But the outpouring of celebration for how good JC Jane's title run was really awesome to see. Just
Yeah,
genuinely, like, really awesome to see. It's not the
absolutely.
same kind of reaction for Tony D, because we're still kind of figuring out what the new Tony D character is, and he's just started a title run, not stopped it. Um, Joe Hendry wasn't the champion for that long, and
No.
he's still relatively new to the company in general. JC Jane's been grinding for a fucking long time. She was a sidekick in 2 different factions, like, Fatal
Yes.
Influence version 1 and version 2 type thing.
Yes, I know.
Uh,
And, like, it's not just grinding, but, like, existing
being
as
good.
well. Yeah, while not being recognized for such a
Oh,
long
of course, yeah.
time.
And do you know what the thing is? Because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, she's a performance center project from the ground up, right?
I'm pretty sure that that's how it
Okay, because
worked with her.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody, "Oh, like, here's, JC Jane's, like, fantastic indie resume." If she does have one, get down in the comment section below and let me know. But she came in, or she was reaching the top at the same time as she said in the promos, as a heel, but it's absolutely true. She was ascending to the main event status at the same time as they were just flying in Zarya and Julia and Stephanie Vacour and Jordan Grace, who had already had a good relationship with WWE through TNA, Stephanie Vacour, who spent one night in AEW and said, "Fuck this." Big names, big stories. No,
Yes.
but like they weren't just big names, they were big talking points as well. So
Yeah,
for
because
her
they were
to
supposed to mean and matter something. Yeah.
yeah, and I think they do. I don't think anybody
Yeah,
else
we know.
is down by JC bringing herself up, but like for her to keep her head above the water, keep her head in the conversation, in amongst all those various topics, and then be the one that comes out on top and says, "Oh, you never thought I would get this." And to be able to come out every week, "Oh, you didn't think I'd have it this long. You didn't think I'd last past this person." To perpetually be proving people wrong as a character, while in reality getting people completely on board with you and the work that you're doing, is, I can't say enough good things about JC Jane. And that's to say nothing about how happy I am for Lola Vice being the Lola two belts now. And she's fantastic. She's a great person to take it from the big shoes of JC Jane before we figure out who the next person is.
Yes.
It's, I'm telling you, man, we keep saying it, but it keeps being true. The women run NXT, and that's fucking fantastic.
And rightfully so. The only thing is now we're starting to really, I feel like, feel the drought of male talent. Like
Yep.
like the women's side of things is doing quite well. And you look at they just have too much female talent right now to the point where like they're spilling over. EO, they don't even know what to do with. And Rhea's involved in, obviously, her
Mhm.
main stuff, but she's still doing all this
Oh,
tag stuff
oh,
because of
we
all
need
the
to talk
excess.
about this. We need to talk about this. I don't know if you've heard the EO news.
Mm, what's
Total
that?
side note here. Total side note is everybody's complaining right now that EO Sky doesn't have a match on the
At
WrestleMania
Mania.
card.
Yes, that I have
Do
heard.
do you know why?
No.
EO Sky having a match at WrestleMania depends on the health of Nikki Bella.
Oh. Because it
Here's the
was
thing.
dependent on the
Here's
tag match, so that makes
here,
sense.
here's the thing. Because the idea being, if Io and Asuka face at WrestleMania, it's where Kairi Sane finally turns on Asuka and the Kabuki Warriors break up, and that, factors into the Io Sky versus Asuka one-on-one match. But if Nikki Bella is not fit to compete, they're going to pull the Bellas and replace them with the Kabuki Warriors and completely delay the breakup of the Kabuki Warriors, which leaves Io Sky without a match. So Io
Yes.
Sky doesn't have a match right now because of Bella.
Damn
Fuck me.
her. Damn her
Fuck
indeed.
me. Like,
Yeah.
how much time do I spend defending WWE? The amount of things that I'm going to be defending when we talk about WrestleMania is going to drive everybody crazy, including my one or two co-hosts. But
Yes.
fuck this.
That's
People
a
that are
bitter
mad about
pill
Pat
to
McAfee,
swallow for
people that are mad about
sure.
Pat McAfee, get mad about this. People that are mad about Logan Paul, who's on the fucking roster, get mad about this. People who are mad about ISO Speed, get mad about this. People who are mad about fucking Jelly Roll, get mad about this.
Yeah, but this doesn't
This is fucking
this
bullshit.
that those things don't line up with the values. This lines up perfectly. Oh, you got to protect and bullshit.
Here's the thing,
Uh
right? as much as I don't like the Bellas, I'm not wishing injury on anybody. I'm really not.
Of course
And
not.
even if I don't like you, you thought you had you thought you had something to do at Mania, and you don't. That sucks. It would suck for anybody. But it's a fatal 4-way. You can very easily just leave it a triple threat.
Exactly.
Like, it's not like, who is it? It's Bayley, Lyra, the Irresistible Forces, and Charlexa, right?
Absolutely.
That's a good 3-way.
And there's
Pause.
so many matches, pause, that they could have done. So many things they could have added to. It's endless at this point. This Mania is going to go down as like a big what if Mania that they missed out on. I feel like in heavy
To be
regards.
fair, the conversation about who is or isn't on the card is always a conversation. What bothers me is the people that complain about the length of WrestleMania, then complaining about somebody not
Not
making it on
enough people.
because
Yeah,
you're a hypocrite at that point.
exactly.
Have you heard about I don't know if it's going to be like a kickoff to the kickoff, or it'll just be something like for the crowd locally in Vegas or whatever. Have you heard what else has been theorized or suggested or put out there or pushed for?
No, what's that?
Danhausen
Mm-hmm.
wants a handicap match against
Ooh.
Miz and Kip.
See, I saw him tweet out the thing with him and Kip because he's like, "Why is your hair wet?" They were doing the thing back and forth. I didn't see the Miz added in there, but that's
There's a
hilarious.
graphic floating around somewhere. I thought I sent it to you, but I guess I
You
didn't because
might, you might have, and
I planned
I'm
horribly.
overly delirious at this point
But
with how
anyway,
exhausted I am. But no, honestly, I saw him and Kip going back and forth, and I was like, "Oh, please, you don't need long, 90 seconds. Let him do the tequila dance in front of the entire WrestleMania crowd." Oh,
no, you know what I want to see because what I saw
tequila.
was a handicap. What I saw was a handicap match, right?
Yes.
I don't want to see a single wrestling move in this match. The bell rings. Danhausen curses Miz and forces Miz to do the skull crushing finale to Kip, and just rolls over into the pin.
Oh, there
5
we go.
seconds. 5 seconds, and let all the people that don't like to have fun cry into their diapers about it.
Yeah, this was brutal for them.
Anyways, for the last 2 matches, sorry I took us on a massive detour there. The last
No.
2 matches are just Lola and Tony D being solidified as the new champions.
Yeah.
I don't see any, like, weird upset thing
No,
happening here.
they're
Casey's not gonna
retaining.
back
It's just showcase matches. That's it.
Yeah. Maybe you set up the Kendall getting her rematch as, like, the odd person out from the triple threat. Maybe Ricky has an attack afterwards, and he's the next contender for Tony D before we get back to Joe. Um, it'll be as much a good match as it is, like, let's see what's going on at the actual next big, huge show.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's serving its purpose, but the purpose will be served well, and the matches will be great. Lola JC will be Tony D and Ethan Page is not going to be 10 stars in the Tokyo Dome, but it's going to be whatever it needs to be. Tony D is going to flapjack them. JC Lola,
Absolutely.
Kalani, Jada, Soul, Zarya, Kali Armstrong, and whoever she's facing. The ladies run NXT. And to your point, where the guys are falling down and the guys roster seems weaker, let that
Mhm.
reflect on the show. The women run NXT, and until we book somebody in the men's division to at least moderately challenge that, the women keep running NXT. I'm cool with that. I would rather have it where the women are naturally okay, this is going to be a whole other separate topic, so I'm going to try and cap myself off here a little bit. I would rather have it that everybody's on the show, you do it by merit, and the ladies just keep killing it, rather than do something like Evolution, where it's just like we've achieved equality by entirely excluding one gender.
Yeah, exactly. By completely
Eh.
alienating, by
Yeah,
removing entirely.
yeah. People were upset at the second Evolution because it took so long to happen and because there were men on.
I know. God
What are we
forbid.
doing?
God
What
forbid.
are we doing?
I don't
But
know.
hey, maybe Danhausen wins his first match and it's a handicap match against The Miz and Kit Wilson, and we can call it pretty awesome instead of just pretty good. Hey, my orange juice is nice and cold now.
Ah,
I've rambled
icy
on for
ice.
quite long enough, and I've just about run out of voice. Jake, my friend, tell everybody what you're up to. Tell them where they can find you. This has been a bonus pod this week, so thanks for
Yes,
hopping on again. But
absolutely.
what's up
They
on your
can
side?
find us reviewing this NXT next week. We will be live after NXT. We'll be live after Raw. We'll be live Wednesday. We did this somewhere weekly, and it looks like next Thursday is going to be the group prediction show for WrestleMania. So come one, come all, and anybody that wants to join in, we'll give you the exact timing, but it'll be Thursday evening, and we're going to have everybody that wants to pop in to give us their predictions for nights 1 and 2 of WrestleMania join in and have some fun. So youtube.com/Jake DeMarco. Head on over there and make sure you're subscribed.
And you guys know where to find me, or you wouldn't be here. I've been Spaz. This has been Jake. This has been our preview for NXT Revenge, but mostly telling AEW fuck themselves. Subscribe up there, talk down there, start a conversation. Keep all of these conversations going. Don't be a stranger. I will talk to each and every last one of you later, but for right now, I am tagging out. Bye, guys.
Last stop on the road to WrestleMania.